A message from Ann Albers. Hi all, this week, the angels talk about how our vibration can shift our relationships and how it isn't cheating, spiritually speaking, to look for the kindest path. I'll share stories and tips as always to help you give yourself permission to take the easier path to love. Have a blessed and beautiful week, smiley face. And message from the angels. My dear friends, we love you so very much. Never are you alone, nor are you ever guided into difficult situations by the divine. You are never being tested, nor do you need to reach for your enlightenment. You are simply vibrating and attracting, vibrating and attracting. You are all seeking to be the loving beings that you truly are, and the more you align with love, the more you will attract easier, kinder, and more pleasing realities. If you find yourself in the midst of a challenge, it doesn't necessarily mean you are in a low vibration right now. You may have positioned yourself in the place and situation you are in when you were in a different vibration. If the situation around you no longer matches the vibration you are in now, things will change. This is just how the universe works. For example, suppose you are flying high right now and shocked to find a long-term friendship suddenly falling apart. It doesn't mean you are vibrating at a low level. It might mean that you are at a higher vibration now and are no longer a match for one another. Suppose you met your friend during a very difficult time in life. The two of you commiserated together, drank together, or complained together. Or perhaps your friend tried to rescue you out of a need to be needed. We have no judgments about any of these things. They are often steps to soothing yourself along a path towards better. Suppose, however, that over the years, you grow. You become more empowered, happier, and less judgmental. You no longer need anyone to rescue you. When you get together, you are eager to share the good news while your friend is still in a space of worry, complaints, or other habits you've outgrown. Or perhaps they're still trying to find something to fix when you no longer need fixing. Even at a 3D level, you can see that the gap between you has grown. If it is large enough, then sooner or later, you will have to lower your vibration, or they will have to raise theirs if you wish to meet in the 3D vibrational space. If the gap becomes large enough, the laws of the universe will find a way to move you apart. This is not cruel, dear ones. It is simply the way the universe works. When you are not on the same wavelength, it is difficult to connect. Nonetheless, you can always connect in the vibrational frequency of love. Choosing to love someone who is being difficult is a choice to connect with them at the deepest level. When you love, you connect with your deepest self. You connect with your soul. You connect with something deeper in the other than they are currently demonstrating. If the relationship no longer matters to you, move on to easier ones. However, if the gap has formed between your spouse and your child, you may want to meet at a deeper level. You may want to consciously look at all there is to love about them so as to maintain a connection and even provide an opportunity for their upliftment. Consider the example of the friendship above. Suppose this friend really mattered to you. You could choose to love them as is. You could choose to love yourself by simply beaming compassion and love to them as they complained. In love, you are aligned with you. In love, you can't take on anyone's density. As you flow love and good feelings, you make no room to resonate with unloving words and bad feelings. Again, this is a choice, and we have no judgment about your choices. You must, dear ones, learn to accept others as they are if you choose to be around them, or you will drive yourselves crazy. The soul accepts everyone as they are because the soul sees the light and truth within them. The soul sees every being reaching for more, no matter how unevolved or unloving their behavior. You can see the light within and still move on. You can choose to love as your soul does while loving your human self enough to do what is kindest for you. You are not holier if you stay in a relationship that no longer resonates with you. You do, however, have the capacity to be in any relationship that you choose if you can find agreement with your own spirit. If you can be in a space of love and compassion, aligned with your soul, you can be in any relationship and still be happy. This does not guarantee the other will behave or even stay, but it does mean that you will feel good no matter what. A funny thing happens, too, in such cases. When people feel true unconditional love, the love that bears witness to their goodness, their caring heart, their talent, and the light hidden beneath their upset, anger, frustration, fear, and pain, they often step up and show you better. Again, there are no guarantees about the other's behavior, but when you are aligned with your loving spirit within, you feel good. Dear ones, you get to choose where to place yourself on this earth and who to be around, and you get to choose how you show up vibrationally in each situation. Where you are in 3D today, dear ones, is simply the result of all the choices along your path. How you vibrate now in 5D determines how you will experience your present moment regardless of how you got there. So, if you like your present situation, enjoy it, love it, appreciate it, and thus more will flow. If you don't like your present situation, change it, or change you. Move to a more loving situation or shift to a more loving vibration. Shift your physical reality or shift your focus. As you make these choices, you continue to create a reality with greater and greater love, which, in turn, will always attract better. In the ideal world, you'd practice a loving vibration so thoroughly that you could turn it on anywhere or with anyone. As a result, you'd be able to coax the love out of any situation and constantly attract better. No one in heavens expects this of you, but we encourage you to constantly practice choosing situations, things, and, above all, thoughts that feel better. We want only the best for you, and however you find the vibration of love internally or externally, you become closer to allowing yourself an experience of heaven on earth. God bless you. We love you so very much. The Angel's Message from Anne. Hi everyone, today's angel message was packed with deep truths that took me years to learn. The hardest point for me wasn't so much about loving difficult people. I can love the soul within someone even if I totally dislike their personality or behavior. Maybe that comes from decades of working with angels. What I found difficult in the past was accepting that it was okay to change my 3D reality versus being a saint and trying to tough it out and love a difficult or painful situation. I would have said I wasn't a quitter. Little did I know that I quit loving myself and listening to my heart far too often back then. In my 30s, I had recently been dumped by a man I should have known not to date. He smoked pot while I was poly pure breath. He drank, and I've never been drunk. We were a mismatch on so many levels, and I knew it, but I was lonely and needy, and in many ways, he was a lot of fun. We enjoyed long hikes, philosophical discussions, and good meals. The rest was a mess. Needless to say, that didn't last. His addictions went far beyond substance. The minute I left town, he had someone else with him. I knew it and didn't want to know it. Eventually, after I took a long vacation to clear my head, he broke up with me, telling me quite honestly that had ruined my life. He was right. He was in a new relationship with someone 5 years younger the next day. It was a blessing in disguise. However, I didn't know then what I do now. His friend, who was not addicted but who matched my needy, lonely vibe, hounded me, telling me we were meant to be. My first impression was to hide every time I went hiking because I didn't want to see him. His kind gestures finally made me doubt myself. He was sweet. Maybe I should give him a chance. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe this was why I dated the not-so-great guy. All the while, my feelings were screaming, run.